Welcome back. I'm MTG Joe, and we've been playing no Oko for like 2 weeks. We've had a pretty good run, but I've not got into Mythic yet, so I'm going to give in, play some Oko, hopefully before it gets banned tomorrow. So this is Killa Dubs, one of the other users. I was talking to them on Discord. They are currently ranked 17th on the ladder, and they are playing this particular build. The only change I made was going down one Fabled Passage for another island, as I typically don't like too many Fabled Passages in kind of these aggressive decks. So it's combining everybody's favorite decks. You got Oko and the food package with Gilded Goose and Once Upon a Time, and you have Oko Flash, all combined together into just a deck that I'm sure our opponents are going to have a delight playing against. So one of the really interesting cards that Killa Dubs is playing is Tail's End. So this card here is basically Stifle with the ability to counter a legendary spell. So can counter any of the Planeswalkers on 2, but also has the ability to, say they Hydroid Krasis, we can stop the Draw and Life Gate ability. We can stop Fabled Passage. We can basically stifle their land, they lose the land on the sack. And so it's pretty useful card overall. Otherwise, we have a counterspell package of Quench, Tail's End, Dispute, and Sabotage with 3 Frilled Mystics on the top end. Then you have your familiar points with the Flash deck in Brineborn Cutthroat, Nightpack Ambusher, Brazen Borrower. And then we got the Okos, Goose, and Once Upon a Time. Mana base pretty standard. You got your blues, your greens, your breeding pools, temples, and Fabled Passage. Sideboard wise is very clean. Veils, we want to don't counter our stuff. Aether Gusts, bounce, red and green stuff. Some negates, another mystical dispute, and 2 Ceratops. So this is really just trying to be defensive and then win the late game with your flash and threats. So I got kind of on a bad run yesterday. We were close to Diamond 2. Instead, I fell all the way back down to the basement, lost 9 in a row. No matter what deck I picked up, we lost, so gonna try to play something a little bit different. Play 2 games with this in best of 1 and absolutely destroyed the opponent, so let's run it back. So I did make a copy of the deck for Aether Hub, but I'm citing Killa Dubs as the creator. I'd like to give credit where credit's due. We're going to keep this hand, and we're just going to use once to find a green source. Ideally, Goose on 1. We only have 5 islands in the deck, so it's kind of ridiculous trying. Take the breeding pool. So we can go Brineborn and then play Once Upon a Time the following turn. So this is a Jeskai Fires list, unless they're playing something spicy. So here I think we really just want to try to get the Goose big enough. So they'll have Clarions. Sorry, not the Goose, the Brineborn. If we could get it to... So I'm going to do this. They likely have Stomp in hand. That's good. It lets us play Ambusher. Most of these lists are going for the Adventure package. That's interesting. So they shock but don't respond. If they just go Clarion here, I'm going to Nightpack Ambusher. I think regardless, we probably Nightpack Ambusher. So we were one spell away from getting it. Oof. Drawing a lot of what we don't want to see here. Yeah, I was trying to find a deck. I just wasn't running well yesterday with some of the other decks, so play some Oko while we can. Okay, so they're going defensive with the Fae of Wishes. Bodes well for us. Still haven't seen if they're the Cavalier build yet or the Planeswalker deck. I'm thinking more Cavalier, only based on the fact... Oh, we're getting Frilled Mystic, and we should have this game wrapped up. So not playing out the Goose here because we don't get the 3/3. These fire lists are usually pretty weak overall to counter spells. Got him. Okay, so we don't explicitly know if we need to bring in Negates or... So in this matchup, Dispute versus Teferi's probably fine. Tail's End probably comes out. Bring in a couple Negates. Bring in the Ceratops. Probably cut. So Brineborn's a way we could kind of run away with it early. If they don't have like something they... we can cut it once maybe on the play. Run it like that. I don't think we want Dispute without knowing that they're Planeswalker heavy. They don't bring counter spells in because of fires. Negates are fine. If we know it's Cavalier, then we could bring in these. Maybe shave a Dispute for an Aether Gust. No, but we have Brazen Borrower. I like the Disputes as a counter. You just pulled an Oko. I'd still hang on to it. It's probably going to go down, but as long as it doesn't get, like, it's killing in Modern, it's killing in Vintage, killing in all the other formats. No Once Upon a Time triple Oko. We're going to mulligan. Okay, we'll keep this hand. Put back the Nightpack. The nice thing is they don't really play anything until 3. Jeez. Just need an untapped source. One untapped source. I'm playing this. Are you kidding me? It's gonna be one of those days. One of those days. So we gotta go like this, try to bounce. At this point it's just slowing them down. Really wanted to get under this Teferi. If they get fires down. I really just want to see what deck they're on. We've probably fallen a little bit too far behind here. No fires is promising. So they did bring in counters. They have fires. They do. So they go double fires. Their hand's not that great. The problem is these quenches don't really do anything at this point. So let's go just throw down another Brineborn. We need another land because we need to Brazen Borrower bounce and then Sinister Sabotage it. Well, now I feel bad for not shocking. Oh, they got another one. Triple fires. I'm gonna do this now just so it counts as their spell cast for the turn. Okay, they did get drawn from Dream, so they don't get to play a follow-up here. They should find a reasonable threat now. Okay, so we did get that. So bounce Tef. Sabotage this turn, then we can do Frilled Mystic and Brineborn the following turn, hopefully, if we draw a land. We may want to get rid of the Quench. Mind you, if we had the land there, Quench would have been a lot better. That dispute. Really just want lines. We've battled pretty well. Okay, so they're the Cavalier version. So I want the Aether Gust. That's fine. Seen enough. So here, just bring in the Gusts. We can get rid of... So Ceratops at least trades with Cavalier, so it's not bad. Take out the Quench. Quench isn't actually too bad. 4 cards, 4 cards. Shave a Quench. Do I just take the Goose out this game? No, it gives us a better start. Keep Ambusher, keep... Get rid of a Brazen, get rid of a Brineborn. No, but I feel like we need to ride Brineborn to victory. Just go down an Aether Gust. It's kind of a tempo-y play, but... Oh, sorry about that. Audio's really weird on Arena. Play first. That's awful. You go first. I don't think we could keep that. This hand's much better. Let's put back a forest. Take a wolf. Think we want counter. It's not bad. We can Brineborn this turn. So we want to either hit Dispute for Teferi. Interesting that they keep shocking their end too. feel like you kill the Brineborn if you have the opportunity. Just be patient here. We have pressure. If we start fighting with them over a counterspell war, we're also good. So I'm doing this. Did I put it on top or the bottom? Put it on the bottom. So I did that just because it's the least useful of our spells right now. I go Prison Realm. Man, if we ever drew our fourth land. The nice thing too is we have, even if they find a way to deal with Brineborn, we have double Nightpack Ambusher. Keeping in Clarion, I guess because they saw like Goose and Brineborn game 1. And it can catch up against Nightpack, but I feel having Time Wipe would probably be more useful. They shock. Got him. I want to know with the deck. Get a bunch of XP. Just gonna give Arena a quick reset because I'm getting a lot of static. Not sure if it's coming through on the video end, but it sounds like a car engine. So I'm hoping Oko gets banned despite playing it right now. I'm hoping Once Upon a Time gets banned. And I think that's it. We get those two out of the way. What I can see potentially happening is them trying to not ban Oko and then ban Nissa Hydroid Crisis, which I don't think really alleviates the issue. It's the fact that Oko presses so many creatures and artifacts. Like, I just want to play the Great Henge, but I don't want it to be an elk. Keep this hand. Leading on Forest just makes it seem a little bit more obscure. They have once. Okay, so this is Adventure. We don't know which one yet. Red-green. They go Rimrock here. I think we just bounce and play Oko. Like here, they could Rimrock on the human to attack into Oko. We didn't have double blue to hold up Quench, or like we drew Sabotage afterwards. And they can't Questing Beast this turn. Well, kind of burned us there. Gets around Quench as well. Just gonna play this to be mana efficient. Keeps them less threats. Jeez. I think we need one more line in this deck. It's been a couple games now that we haven't hit it consistent. So although Love Struck can't attack just yet, their deck's likely... Wow. Let's not show them anymore. So we just didn't draw another line there. In this matchup, we'll bring the Aether Gusts. And I think we bring in the Ceratops just to trade with creatures. Tail's End is likely not as good in this matchup. Neither are the Disputes probably come out. And just play it straight up like this. Just play like a Simic Shell. If we could have kept the Oko alive like one more turn, probably could have at least made blockers. I'll keep this hand. Turn 2 Oko. Probably just going to get a land here, preferably blue. It guarantees us a blue source. Want to get this off the battlefield.
I'm certain you're quite charmed to meet me. Welcome to the feast.
This is still the most broken thing we can do.
You fear your true.
Okay, so we have Quench this turn, that's good. We can also hold up Sabotage. They do get to draw 2. Do you just make another food? I think we just make another food this turn. So here, let's just Quench this. Gets 2 spells off the bat. I'm basically going to try to trade food to get these Edgewell Innkeepers. Get another blue source. Okay, we can animate one of these now. They will get to draw 2 off the Love Struck Beast. Probably just counter this. They don't get the other half afterwards. Probably want a little bit more, like a faster clock. Okay, not bad. Let's just start animating these.
I invite you to change your ways.
So I can, depending what they play, I can Aether Gust. Do I just gust this? Or sabotage? Probably sabotage. So Gust will put it back on top. They can cast it again. They get these 1/1s, but it's not really doing anything. This is a hard counter. Probably just hard counter it. Try to find a wolf. No, we want wolf. Okay, another borrower.
Welcome to the feast.
Just pass turn. Gonna drop down a borrower this turn. Crawl Harpooner. That's fine. Bounce that. If they have a land, they can go Love Struck. They go Domri's Ambush. Just fizzle out as many spells as we can off their part. Okay, sweet. We got the Sabotage. So I'm probably just gonna counter this. Do I even care? Yeah, probably. I want wolf. Put in a lot of effort to kill that goose.
It's not good.
2 in. Just trying to close out this game. Nice thing is I can brazen and bounce something to hand. I'll bounce the Love Struck Beast on end step. Like, they're gonna draw cards off it, but it's really just so we can get some power in. Veil of Summer. Well, that's awkward. We're still not too bad here. We can keep pushing in some damage. I want to take Edge Wall. Mind you, I could have just elked it. Oh, they got Quester. They can attack in. They don't have enough for Ember Cleave of note. just block like that. So they had Rimrock if we didn't block that they could have killed. So just create a food here. This can be the surprise, depending if they go loose with attacking. Do I care here? So they have Ember Cleave, like it dies anyways, so that's fine.
So hostile to the truth.
They got Ceratops. So here, they have to block the food, and they have to block Brazen. Well, they could gain the 3 life. Just clear out our deck. 22 cards in, no wolf.
Blind, remain blind.
That's fine. We forgot to fetch there. So they block, we put 2 points on them. It's going to be a little difficult to get out of. Don't really have the reach in this deck. Particularly not well suited. There's 20 lands in this deck. We've seen 6, 8, 9. What a way to lose. That gives him haste. Yeah, he can't block anyways. That was a shitty game. I should have had that. Alright, 1 and 1. 1 and 1. I think this deck might actually be better suited for best of 1. The fact that you don't get Veils, that Veil kind of blew us out if we were able to bounce there. It's a tough one. Well, we keep. This is part of the reason I don't like Fabled Passage. In case we get Goose, which we do, because we're good at magic. Show me an untap source. Untap source one time. Legion's End. This hand is infinitely worse now. So I'm gonna get the double blue first. They're not really putting pressure on us. I think we just go Brineborn. So they go Bone Crusher to us. So they don't know about this Brineborn, which is nice. So this is going to have to just be spot in duty. Yeah, just keep the lines. So what I'm going to do here... Take the 1 point of damage. Oh, shit. I had to bounce it to give it 3. Ah, crap. Shame scoop. Shame scoop. Shame scoop. So the whole point, you bounce it. It becomes 3. It takes them out. We don't take any damage. They still spawn then. So we probably still weren't getting out of that. That was poor play. Man, I've had a rough showing on stream lately. So you use Brazen Borrower to return Chandra Awakened Inferno to opponent's hand, and it made the enemy's other planeswalker. Yeah, I don't know why it would deal damage. We'll keep this hand. In case we draw Goose. So good at magic. So I hope this is a matchup where Ambusher into Ambusher works. This can be ramp. Use once to find something. I'm actually not against if they make this a 3-3. They just do food here.
Welcome to the feast.
Keep the Brazen Borrower. Yeah, I don't know why. It might just be kind of a bug. I haven't played those two cards together in a deck yet, so not 100% sure why that's happening for you. So we'll see what they do here. They exchange. Let's see if they have a counter here. So it's actually not bad because I can Brazen Borrower the Boreal Grazer here. Not quite. So they could have this Nightpack become a dude. What are you gonna do? If they didn't drop Paradise, we would have bounced it. So just in case there's a weird trigger or something and we forget. Let's get another forest. So we make a 3/3 here. Aether Gust. So we could counter it. That's fine. Let's put it on top. This may make them play loose. We need to catch a Nisa if it comes down. Keep that on top. Just gonna give myself the out here. I could have played it in response, but then they untap and play Nisa. I think it's wise to keep, like, they're not really advancing their board state here, because my plan was also to, if they didn't have the Nisa, then we bounce this, counter it on the way down. So they're just going to create foods. If they don't play anything, we just throw down Nightpack. They know about the Brazen Borrower, so we're just leaving that out. They got Krasis. That sucks. Just not trying, like... We do have a lot in this deck to deal with it, but they got down the Oko and it's been downhill since. They have another Aether Gust. If they have Aether Gust, then we're dead. I think Quench is that good at this point in the game. So I could bounce the Krasis. I think we just do this. Pass and then try to drop Nightpack. Problem here is, like, we're not really advancing. They bounce their things and then we're kind of far behind. Man, whatever traction we got. Let me just give Arena a quick reset. Starting to get a bit of a lag. Run it back for one more. So for those of you who just tuned in, this is Killadub's list. He is 17th on the Mythic ladder. Talking to them on Discord. I'm... Like, they did mention they play super conservative at first, counter everything, play out their threat. So, like, the deck is working, just not for us, it seems. So we'll keep this. So they have Tail's End to deal with, like, a Crisis trigger. You can deal with lands, anything like that. Here, I think I just want the Frilled Mystic. Tranquil Cove could mean this is the blue-white flash list. The nice thing is we can sabotage if need be if they have to ferry. We're in a good spot now. So I'm not going to commit Oko to the board yet. We can just counter whatever they play for the next few turns. They could Brineborn. That's fine. That doesn't actually advance their board state. So we gotta be mindful now with Castle. So I could counter this. Okay, we could Brazen if need be. So I can Oko. So I'm just gonna be patient here. They'll make a token with Castle Ardenvale. That's also fine. I just want to get another land so I can Oko and play out a counterspell. So they got Teferi. So they likely have a follow-up counterspell, so let's Tail's End here. This way we have Sabotage up. So making all those food came in handy. This gets big enough that the token can't deal with it. I think we just keep Borrower. We have 2 counter spells in hand. They can... I think we wait. was gonna say, because we could play Oko, it's guaranteed to resolve, but they do play Brazen Borrower in this deck, and then they can get a time wipe off. This is probably how we're gonna win the game. So they can counter here. Kind of want a flyer because Castle Ardenvale. Yeah. So they got their flyer here. So we have Quench. We can just play Oko. Problem with Oko is, again, they can get a time wipe off. They go Prison Realm here. We're just gonna bounce it. And they have the veto. Okay, so we got out most of the counter spells from their hand. We got once. So we could once find a land.
I'm certain you're quite charmed to meet me. Welcome to the feast.
This has been an interesting match. Finale of Glory can go away. This card is amazing when you have to ferry out and pretty mediocre the rest of the time. Just pass turn. I'm not gonna chance it. Surprised they didn't make a token. They value the scry more. So they need like a borrower. I'm playing very conservative in this matchup because the goose tapping out. We want one more land so I can counter. They top both. So they know we have the Mystic. They go Time Wipe. That's fine. So I want to keep a threat out. I think it's important to continue the pressure. The Time Wipe comes down. Because I could have had a Teferi in hand. Would prefer to have an extra blue source over the green source. This could be Finale. We go Mass Manipulation. So they had us either way. But I can do this. They're still short, so I think we just attack in here. Like if they have another Mass Manipulation, we're dead. Double Mystical Dispute's nice. So I'm not attacking in because they can make a token to block it. And then just deal with the Oko. They're mana short from being able to scry and make a land each turn. Double top again. That life gain is relevant. Kind of forced into doing this. They'd likely have a counter spell. They got the veto. So the other option was to let that go and just drop down Brazen. How many Brazen have we seen? Seen 3. They get to see it, but just take the trade there. Just try to get counter spells out of their hand. So triple Mystical Dispute. haven't even been that many lands. So depending what their counter spell is, okay, so they let that resolve. Teferi will bounce it. Force them into paying some mana. They probably have this now. Once you get the Teferi down, it's very hard for our deck to win, especially in the position that we're at. And the fact we just haven't been drawing. Our out there was drawing Oko. If they have a counter spell, I'm just going to concede. Killa Dubs, I don't know how you did it to Mythic, but we just completely bottomed out. Let me just try this deck out once and then we'll call it a day. This is my tokens list I've been trying to tune. Kind of aristocrat-y with Corpse Knight and Cruel Celebrant. Make a lot of tokens. We have none of the token enablers. Opponent goes first. Let's try this. Can't get worse than Plat 4 or Diamond 4. Just Goose. Okay, so we got at least one of our creature payoffs. We don't want Loxodon right now. So I can go Corpse Knight number 2 here. And then just play Vraska next turn. So the whole point of the deck, you make a bunch of tokens and then they deal damage when they come in with Corpse Knight. Alright, so gotta get rid of Questing Beast. So I can't Conclave this turn. So this will attack into us. We take the damage. Really just don't want to see a Great Henge here. That's equally awful. Okay, so Vraska could come down afterwards. So here, like a shock. So if I play a Johnny, I'm still short. I have to do this on Questing Beast this turn. We're taking 6. Granted, we don't take any more. We're not going to win this one. Weird. Draw that one. I'm more inclined to like concede on that one just because we're late. Like we're already at the bottom. Let me find a hand that's not awkward. Probably have to get better at mulliganing, but raise the alarm and Amara. Opponent goes first. We'll keep. So if they look like a deck that can deal with Amara on 2, then we'll flash and raise the alarm. Yeah, so I'm actually probably going to just bait out the Amara. This becomes 3 power. That's fine, we'll just do this. Roddy Hottie. Double block here. They're just gonna Embercleave us. What is up with today? This weekend has not been my weekend play, Magic. I have just consistently dumped. So cut you, cut you. Go up 3 of you. Run it like that. Sometimes magic goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. This has been, I think in ranked, I'm currently probably like a 10% win rate. It felt like. So we got the triple Celebrant draw into Venerated Loxodon, so we're good against the board wipe. Shimmer, so this is a Fires deck. One of the older Fires decks, because they usually don't play Shimmer in it anymore. So next turn, if I play this, I can't also go Loxodon. That's fine for me. Fires. So if I go Clarion here, I'm still left with a 1/1. Opt. Very weird. So here, I think we just go Vraska. Because they have a wipe. Can do this. Just go Vraska this turn. Our mana's a little awkward. If I could have done double Celebrant, I would have. Okay, Corpse Knight's pretty good. So Blue Cavalier. I don't understand why you play Opt in this deck. Red Cavalier combo us. Hit me for a ton. Dead Zoes. because I can't play my land. Alright, I need to take a break from Magic. We are not doing well. Anyways, gonna wrap this one up. So played 2 decks, mostly the Killer Dubs deck, the Simic Oko. Gonna wrap it up though. You can catch the replay if you missed any part of it on YouTube tomorrow. Otherwise, hopefully we can have a whole new standard to look forward to tomorrow. Bye-bye, Oko is my hope. We'll see how it goes. Thanks for tuning in as always. Have a great day or night, depending where you are in the world.